Hey everyone, welcome back. Ready for another deep dive?
Always ready to explore.
Awesome. So today we're tackling Your Life Can Be Changed by Anath Lee Wales. This book is like, wow, a blueprint for self-improvement, hitting everything from self-concept to confidence to like time management and even risk assessment.
It's pretty comprehensive.
Super comprehensive. So we're going to break it down, pull out the most valuable stuff, and hopefully uncover some aha moments for you guys.
Definitely some gems in there. What struck me right off the bat is how the book jumps right into self-concept, like forcing you to confront how you see yourself before you even try to change anything.
Yeah, it's almost like saying, hey, know yourself first before you try to, conquer the world or whatever.
Right.
It really makes you stop and think, how often do we actually sit down and analyze our self-concept?
Not often enough, I'd say.
Right. And the book throws out these self-descriptions like, I'm a winner or I'm a slow learner, and asks you to circle the ones that resonate.
It's a powerful exercise.
So powerful. But is that really all self-concept is? Just like a bunch of words we identify with?
Well, it's a starting point. The book defines self-concept as this collection of beliefs and attitudes we have about ourselves. It's like your internal resume, your about me page, but instead of skills and accomplishments, it's your perceived strengths and weaknesses,
Oh, I see. So if I believe I'm a slow learner, that could actually affect how willing I am to try new things.
Exactly.
And maybe even sabotage my chances of actually succeeding.
You got it. The book emphasizes how our self-concept isn't just some abstract idea. It directly influences our actions, even limits what we think we can achieve.
That's kind of a heavy realization. But wait, isn't self-concept basically the same thing as self-esteem?
Good question. The book makes a distinction, and I think it's important. Self-concept is the descriptive part, the what, like I'm organized. Self-esteem is the feeling, the how you feel about it, like adding, and I'm proud of being organized.
So one's about facts, the other's about emotions.
Exactly, and here's where it gets interesting. The book argues that while others can definitely influence our self-concept, it's ultimately built on our own beliefs.
So we have the power to choose how we define ourselves.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow, okay. That's kind of empowering.
Yeah.
But how do we actually put that into practice?
Remember that self-description exercise. The book suggests circling both positive and negative traits. That simple act forces you to really see your self-perception and pinpoint where you might want to focus on growth.
Like a mini therapy session right there in the book.
Right.
I love it. Now, I'm curious, for everyone listening, what self-descriptions resonate most with you? Take a second to really think about it.
Yeah, it's worth pondering. And once you have a clearer picture of your self-concept, the book dives into building self-confidence, which, let's face it, is essential for pretty much everything we want to achieve.
For sure. But, everyone throws around terms like self-confidence, self-efficacy, self-esteem. Are they all really interchangeable?
The book does a great job of breaking that down. Self-confidence is more about trusting your judgment and your overall abilities. Self-efficacy is specifically your belief in your ability to succeed at particular tasks.
So I could be generally confident, but still totally lack self-efficacy when it comes to, public speaking.
Exactly. Or parallel parking.
Oh, for sure. Parallel parking is my nemesis.
And then there's self-esteem, which we touched on earlier. That's your overall sense of worth as a human being.
Okay, I think I'm starting to see the nuances. But back to self-confidence. How does the book suggest we build this essential quality?
It lays out a pretty practical step-by-step guide.
Oh, nice. Lay it on us.
First, acknowledge your past achievements. Remember that achievement log we talked about?
Yeah.
The book encourages you to document even your small wins, build a reservoir of evidence for how awesome you are.
I love that. Give yourself permission to celebrate those wins.
Exactly. And speaking of celebrating, the next step is to identify your strengths. You can use tools like a SWOT analysis to really pinpoint what you excel at.
SWOT analysis, classic.
Right. Then, once you have a handle on your strengths, the book suggests setting small, achievable goals that play to those strengths.
Oh, I love that. Starting small. It's way less intimidating than trying to climb Mount Everest right out of the gate.
Right. And then, of course, there's the ever-present challenge of managing negative self-talk. The book provides strategies for reframing those negative thoughts into more positive, productive ones.
Like learning to be your own cheerleader instead of your own worst critic.
Exactly.
Speaking of cheerleaders, I think it's a good time to transition to the importance of friends and family. Those real-life cheerleaders who can make all the difference.
Absolutely. The book dedicates a whole section to the power of relationships, emphasizing their role in our overall well-being.
It's true. Friends and family are like our personal board of advisors, right?
Yeah.
They offer support, encouragement, and sometimes even a healthy dose of reality checks when we need them.
And the book points out that their advice can be invaluable. It's like having a built-in focus group for all of life's decisions.
It's true. They've seen us at our best and worst, and they still love us.
Right. And they know us better than anyone.
Exactly. And the book also highlights the actual health benefits of those strong social connections. It mentions studies that link rich social lives to, get this, longevity.
It's true. Good relationships can actually help you live longer.
Okay, so friendships are officially the fountain of youth. I'm sold.
Right.
But let's be real. Making and keeping friends, especially as adults, can be tough.
Oh, absolutely. And the book acknowledges that challenge. It uses this great analogy. Think of friendships like an emotional bank account.
Well, I like that.
Every act of kindness and gratitude is a deposit, while negativity and criticism are withdrawals.
That's so true. So for those of you listening, how are you managing your emotional bank accounts? Are you making enough deposits? It's something to really consider.
It is.
It is. And speaking of managing resources, I think this is a perfect segue into another crucial element for just about everything in life: time management.
Definitely a big one.
We all have the same 24 hours in a day, but how we use them makes all the difference. And your life can be changed. Really dives deep into this, offering some game-changing time management strategies.
It does. And it starts by recognizing that it's not about cramming more into our already busy schedules. It's about being intentional with our time and energy.
Being intentional, I like that. So what are some of the key strategies?
Well, the book really emphasizes the power of prioritizing tasks. It suggests categorizing activities based on their urgency and importance. This helps you figure out what truly deserves your immediate attention.
Oh, that makes sense. It's like sorting through that never-ending to-do list and figuring out which items are actually worth stressing over.
Exactly. And once you have a handle on your priorities, the book guides you through a 6-step process for creating an effective schedule. It advocates for using planners or digital tools to visually map out your time commitments and deadlines.
Well, I'm a huge fan of visual organizers. It's like taking all that mental clutter and putting it down on paper or in an app where you can actually see it and manage it.
Right. And speaking of managing mental clutter, the book debunks the myth of multitasking.
Oh, good.
It champions the one mind on one activity principle, arguing that focusing on a single task at a time actually boosts productivity and reduces errors.
So putting on those blinders and giving one task your undivided attention is the way to go.
It is.
I'll admit, I'm totally guilty of trying to juggle multiple things at once, thinking I'm being super efficient. But maybe I'm actually sabotaging myself.
It's a common trap. We live in a world of constant distractions, but the book reminds us that true productivity comes from focus and intentionality. And here's something I found really interesting. It highlights how good communication can actually enhance time management.
Wait, how does talking to people save time? I would think it'd be the opposite.
Think about it this way. Clear communication prevents misunderstandings, eliminates the need for back and forth clarifications, and streamlines decision-making processes.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Being a good communicator can prevent those frustrating moments where you feel like you're going in circles, wasting time and energy.
Exactly. And the book also delves into the importance of record keeping as a time management tool. It suggests tracking your progress and analyzing how you're actually spending your time.
Like having data to back up your time management decisions so you can pinpoint those time sucks and find ways to optimize your schedule.
Right. But let's be honest, even with the best time management strategies, we all need a break sometimes. And your life can be changed, dedicates a surprising amount of space to the importance of rest.
Oh, I love that. Rest is so crucial, yet we often neglect it.
It's true. The book even includes a detailed chart with sleep recommendations for different age groups. But the key takeaway is that rest is not a luxury. It's a necessity for optimal performance. Think of it like recharging your batteries so you can function at your best.
I love that analogy. It's like trying to run your car on fumes. Eventually, you're going to stall out.
And speaking of fueling our engines, I think this is the perfect moment to move on to the book's comprehensive section on planning, which is presented as the foundation for achieving our goals.
Planning is crucial. It goes beyond just setting goals. It delves into the psychological aspects of planning, its importance in various fields, and even how it can be used as a tool for forecasting the future.
Wow, that's fascinating. I've always been a bit of a planner, but this makes me realize there's a whole science behind it. The book even goes into detail about personal development planning, or PDP. It does. It outlines a 9-step process for creating your own personalized development plan, walking you through everything from identifying your aspirations and assessing your current skills to setting specific goals and creating a roadmap for achieving them.
It's like having your own personal blueprint for growth. And the book doesn't stop there. It even dives into specific types of planning, like budget planning.
That's right. And it offers a really interesting take on budgeting. Instead of the traditional spend first, save what's left approach, it flips the script. It urges you to prioritize your financial well-being by saving first, then allocating the remaining funds to your expenses.
That's a pretty radical shift in mindset. Do you think it's really possible to save before you spend? It feels a bit counterintuitive.
The book argues that this approach helps you build a solid financial foundation and prevents you from constantly feeling like you're playing catch-up with your bills. It's about shifting your focus from immediate gratification to long-term financial security.
I see. It's like paying yourself first instead of letting your expenses dictate your financial decisions.
Exactly. And beyond personal finances, the book also touches on organizational planning and business planning.
Right. It highlights the importance of having clearly defined goals and objectives in shaping an organization's structure and ensuring everyone is working towards the same vision.
Exactly. It's like having a shared roadmap for success.
I love that, a shared roadmap. And when it comes to business planning, the book outlines the typical structure of a business plan, emphasizing the key questions it should address, such as identifying the problem your business solves, understanding your target market, and analyzing your competition.
It's about laying a solid foundation for a successful venture, whether you're launching a startup or expanding an existing business.
Solid foundation, always essential. But let's be honest, even with the best laid plans, there are always risks involved, and your life can be changed doesn't shy away from this topic, dedicating a significant portion to risk management.
It's a crucial topic. The book emphasizes that risk management is about more than just avoiding danger. It's about making informed decisions in the face of uncertainty.
Making informed decisions. Yeah, that's key. So, how does the book define risk management?
It defines it as the process of identifying, assessing, and controlling threats to an organization's capital and earnings.
Okay, so it's like having a contingency plan for those what-if scenarios that we all hope never happen but need to be prepared for anyway.
Exactly. And the book draws upon the 31,000 standard, which outlines internationally recognized principles and guidelines for risk management.
Oh, wow. So there's like an official framework for approaching this strategically.
There is.
What's the first step in this process?
The book emphasizes establishing context. That means understanding the scope of risk management, identifying stakeholders, and determining the criteria for evaluating risks.
So it's like setting the stage for effective risk assessment.
Right. Once you've established context, the next step is identifying potential risks. The book suggests various methods like source analysis, problem analysis, scenario-based identification, and even using pre-existing lists of known risks within specific industries.
So it's like brainstorming all the things that could go wrong and figuring out which ones pose the greatest threat.
Exactly.
But once you've identified those risks, how do you actually assess them? Like, how do you know which ones to worry about most?
The book delves into the process of risk assessment, emphasizing the importance of evaluating both the potential severity of the impact and the probability of the risk occurring.
Okay, so it's about figuring out which risks have the potential to cause the most damage and which ones are most likely to actually happen.
Exactly. It's about balancing those two factors to determine which risks require the most immediate attention.
Got it. And are there like specific methods for doing this?
There are. The book provides a range of methods for risk assessment, including statistical analysis, simulations, and expert opinions.
So using all the tools at your disposal to make informed decisions.
Exactly.
But what happens once you've assessed those risks? What are your options at that point?
Well, the book outlines 4 major options: avoidance, reduction, sharing, and retention. Let's take an example to illustrate these. Imagine you're planning a big outdoor event. There's a risk of bad weather.
Okay, yeah, I see where you're going with this. So avoidance would mean canceling the event altogether to eliminate the risk of rain ruining everything.
Right. Reduction could involve renting a tent or moving the event indoors to minimize the impact of bad weather.
Makes sense. And sharing could involve partnering with an event insurance company to cover potential losses.
Exactly. And retention would be accepting the risk and hoping for the best, maybe having a backup plan in place if it does rain.
Gotcha. So you've got a range of options depending on the specific risk and your comfort level.
Right. And the book provides real-world examples for each option, showing how they apply in different situations.
That's so helpful, seeing how these concepts play out in real life. The book also gets into the financial aspect of risk assessment, right?
Absolutely. It emphasizes the importance of viewing risks in financial terms, even mentioning the Courtney formula, which helps calculate the annualized loss expectancy, or ALE.
Okay, so putting a dollar amount on those potential losses, which can make the risk assessment process even more impactful. It takes the guesswork out of it and helps you make decisions based on concrete numbers.
Exactly.
And speaking of making informed decisions, I think it's time to shift gears to another critical topic covered in Your Life Can Be Changed, stress management.
A topic that's relevant to pretty much everyone.
Oh yeah, stress. That unwelcome companion that seems to follow us everywhere these days.
It does seem to have a way of creeping into every aspect of our lives.
The book acknowledges that stress is an inevitable part of life, but emphasizes that it's not about eliminating stress entirely. It's about managing it effectively.
Right. It's about developing strategies to prevent stress from becoming overwhelming and taking a toll on our well-being.
Okay, so what are some of the strategies the book suggests for doing that?
The book offers a really wide range of techniques for dealing with stress. It covers everything from cognitive techniques like cognitive therapy to physical techniques like exercise, yoga, and deep breathing.
So it's a pretty holistic approach, recognizing that our mental, physical, and social well-being are all interconnected.
It is. It even dives into the power of social techniques like connecting with supportive people and mindfulness and relaxation techniques like meditation and progressive muscle relaxation.
I love that. It's not just about quick fixes. It's about creating a lifestyle that supports our overall well-being.
Exactly. And it even addresses the importance of making lifestyle changes to reduce stress. It talks about the power of time management, getting a hobby, spending time in nature, and of course, getting enough sleep.
Right. All those things we know we should be doing, but sometimes let slip through the cracks. And I love how the book brings all these different areas together. Time management, planning, social connections, they all play a role in managing stress effectively.
They do. It's about recognizing the interconnectedness of our lives and how seemingly unrelated habits can actually have a significant impact on our stress levels.
It's all connected. And this is what I love about this book. It's so comprehensive. It doesn't just focus on one area in isolation. It shows how all these different aspects of our lives work together.
Right. It's a holistic approach to personal development.
Exactly. But before we move on to the next section, I want to touch on one more thing that stood out to me. The book goes beyond just generic stress management tips and dives into the unique challenges of specific professions. I remember it talks about stress in the medical environment and how demanding it can be for healthcare professionals.
It does. It mentions studies showing that a significant portion of medical professionals experience high levels of stress and even symptoms of depression.
Wow, that's really concerning.
It is. The book emphasizes the importance of addressing these challenges to prevent burnout and ensure the well-being of those who dedicate their lives to caring for others.
So important. It's a reminder that even those in helping professions need support and strategies for coping with the emotional toll of their work. And speaking of high-stress professions, the book also delves into the aviation industry.
Yes, the aviation industry, with its constant need for precision and the high stakes involved, is known for its demanding nature. The book points out that chronically high stress levels can negatively impact performance and even compromise safety.
So it's not just about individual well-being, it's about the safety and well-being of everyone involved. What kind of strategies does the book suggest for managing stress in such a high-pressure environment?
It highlights the importance of using stress measurement tools specifically designed for the aviation industry.
Interesting. So it's not just about generic relaxation techniques. It's about understanding the unique stressors of that environment.
Right.
These measurement tools go beyond simple self-reporting, right?
They do. The book talks about performance-based measures, subjective measures like questionnaires, and even physiological measures like heart rate monitoring. It's a multifaceted approach to understanding and managing stress in a field where even the smallest error can have significant consequences.
It's fascinating how much thought and research has gone into understanding stress in different professions. It highlights how crucial stress management is, not just for personal well-being, but for success, productivity, and even safety in various fields.
Absolutely. It's about recognizing that stress management is not just an individual responsibility, it's an organizational and societal issue as well.
Well said. Well, on that note, I think it's time to shift gears a bit and talk about the final chapter of Your Life Can Be Changed, which focuses on the importance of continuous learning.
A perfect way to end the book. It's a reminder that learning is a lifelong journey, not something that stops when we finish school or graduate from a training program.
It's about constantly seeking out new knowledge and skills to grow and evolve as individuals. And it shares a powerful quote that really resonated with me. Knowledge is the endless resource of success in life.
I love that quote. It emphasizes that learning is not just about acquiring information, it's about empowering ourselves to achieve our goals and live fulfilling lives.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And, the book even connects this idea back to the listener, suggesting that even engaging with this deep dive is a form of continuous learning.
That's true. We're all learning together, exploring new ideas, and expanding our understanding of ourselves and the world around us.
Learning's about growth, and growth is the essence of a life well lived.
Beautifully said.
But before we wrap up this part of our deep dive, there's one more area we need to explore: marketing planning. This is something the book delves into quite deeply, particularly focusing on marketing for professional services.
It's an important topic. The book emphasizes the importance of having a systematic approach to promoting your firm and attracting clients.
Right, because without a solid marketing plan, businesses often resort to haphazard and inefficient efforts, wasting time, money, and energy.
Exactly. And it makes a distinction between marketing planning for product-based businesses versus professional services, arguing that the strategies need to be tailored to the unique nature of each industry.
So if you're a lawyer, consultant, or accountant, you can't just rely on the same marketing tactics that work for a company selling shoes or gadgets.
Right. The approaches need to be different.
What are the key steps involved in creating an effective marketing plan for a professional services firm?
The book outlines a multi-step process. Starting with understanding the current business situation, it encourages firms to conduct a SWOT analysis to identify their strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats.
So taking a realistic look at where you stand in the marketplace and understanding your competitive landscape.
Exactly. And then the book emphasizes the importance of research. It's about understanding your target clients, their needs, their priorities, and even how they go about selecting service providers.
It's like getting inside the minds of your potential clients and tailoring your marketing efforts to their decision-making process.
Right. And once you have a clear picture of your target audience, the book advocates for developing a strong brand position. This involves identifying what makes your firm unique and communicating those differentiators to the marketplace.
So it's about standing out from the competition and giving potential clients a clear reason to choose you over everyone else.
Exactly. And the book reminds us that positioning is not about conforming to what everyone else is doing. It's about embracing what makes you different and using that to your advantage.
I love that. It's about owning your strengths and showcasing what makes you uniquely valuable.
Absolutely. And speaking of showcasing your value, the book encourages firms to revisit and refine their service offerings.
So it's not just about marketing what you already have. It's about being innovative and adapting to evolving client needs.
Right. It's about constantly evaluating your offerings, identifying potential gaps in the market, and developing new services that meet those needs. It's a reminder that the business world is constantly changing, and those who adapt and innovate are the ones who thrive.
And on that note of adaptation, the book dives into various marketing techniques that professional services firms can utilize, emphasizing the importance of balancing traditional and digital approaches.
It's not about abandoning those tried and true methods like networking, speaking engagements, and print publications.
But it's also about embracing the power of digital marketing, social media, webinars, blogs, and email marketing.
Exactly. It's about finding the right mix of online and offline strategies to reach your target audience where they are and engage them effectively.
Finding the right mix. I like that. It's not an either situation. And the book doesn't just list techniques. It also emphasizes the importance of having the right tools, skills, and infrastructure in place to support your marketing efforts.
Right. It's about having the right people, processes, and technology in place to actually execute your marketing plan effectively.
Having the right foundation to build upon. What are some of the key tools or resources the book mentions?
Well, it talks about the importance of a well-designed website, compelling marketing materials, effective search engine optimization, a strong social media presence, video marketing, email marketing systems, and even proposal templates. It's a pretty comprehensive list.
Wow, that is comprehensive. It's about building a solid foundation for your marketing efforts and ensuring you have the resources and expertise to make it all happen.
Right. And the book also stresses the importance of documenting your operational schedule and budget.
Well, that makes sense. It's not just about coming up with brilliant marketing ideas. It's about having a concrete plan for putting those ideas into action.
Exactly. It highlights the need for a detailed marketing calendar that outlines all your planned activities, including timelines and deadlines.
So it's like having a roadmap to guide your marketing efforts and ensure everything stays on track.
Exactly. And it encourages firms to develop a comprehensive marketing budget. taking into account all the costs associated with their planned activities.
Oh, that's so important. It's easy to get caught up in the excitement of new marketing ideas, but without a budget, it's impossible to know if your efforts are financially sustainable.
Right. It's about being strategic with your resources and ensuring your marketing investments are generating a return.
Well said. Are there any other marketing planning tips the book offers?
It encourages firms to start by understanding how the world has changed since their last planning cycle.
So, acknowledging that the marketing landscape is constantly evolving and being willing to adapt your plans accordingly.
Right. What new competitors have emerged? Have client needs evolved? Has the technological landscape shifted? It's about staying ahead of the curve and being proactive rather than reactive.
Absolutely. Proactive is key. And it stresses the importance of focusing on the problems you solve and the value you bring, not just the services you provide.
Right. It's about understanding your clients' pain points and positioning yourself as the solution to their challenges.
Okay, so it's about being client-centric and framing your marketing message in terms of the benefits you offer, not just the features of your services.
Exactly. And it encourages firms to lead with research, constantly seeking out new insights about their target audience, their competitors, and the evolving marketplace.
Knowledge is power, especially in the world of marketing. Any other pearls of wisdom?
It emphasizes the importance of storytelling and making your expertise visible.
So crafting compelling narratives that resonate with your target audience and showcasing your expertise in a way that's engaging and accessible.
Right. And it reminds us that most marketing fails because it's not implemented correctly.
It's one thing to have a great plan on paper, but another to actually bring it to life.
Right. It's about having the right resources, the right talent, and the right mindset to make it all happen.
Right. Everything.
And it encourages firms to focus on quality over quantity, like selecting a few key initiatives and fully resourcing them rather than spreading themselves too thin.
So doing a few things really well instead of trying to do everything and ending up doing nothing well.
Exactly. And finally, it reminds us that attracting and retaining top talent is a crucial part of marketing success.
Oh yeah, it's about building a strong employer brand that attracts the best and brightest to your firm. After all, your people are your greatest asset.
Absolutely. And the book wraps up this section by emphasizing the importance of tracking your progress throughout the marketing pipeline.
Oh, that's crucial. Measuring your results and using data to inform your future marketing decisions.
Right. It's a data-driven approach to marketing that ensures your efforts are actually generating a return on investment.
Data is king or queen, right? Well, on that note, I think it's time to wrap up this part of our deep dive. We've covered a lot of ground today, exploring the many facets of your life can be changed. But don't worry, we'll be back soon to continue our exploration of this incredible book. Until then, keep those wheels turning and keep striving for that best version of yourself.
Absolutely. And keep those marketing plans in motion.
You got it.
Thanks for joining us. We'll see you soon for part 2.
See you then.
So much to unpack. It's amazing how many practical things this book covers.
Right. It's not just about feel-good self-help. It gets into the nitty-gritty, like risk management. That whole section was intense.
Extra detailed, yeah.
Really makes you think about all the potential what-ifs in life.
Definitely. And speaking of potential what-ifs, the book actually dedicates a good chunk to stress management, recognizing that it's pretty much unavoidable these days.
Oh, for sure. Stress is like the background music of modern life, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. But the book emphasizes that it's not about eliminating stress entirely, more about managing it effectively.
So not letting it completely take over and, rule our lives.
Exactly.
Okay, so what kind of techniques does it suggest? I'm all ears. I need all the stress management tips I can get.
Well, it throws out a whole bunch, recognizing that different things work for different people. It covers everything from cognitive techniques like cognitive therapy.
Yeah, reframing those negative thoughts.
To physical techniques like exercise, yoga, deep breathing.
The classic.
Right. It even gets into the power of social techniques, connecting with supportive people, and those mindfulness and relaxation techniques like meditation or progressive muscle relaxation.
Wow, so a pretty holistic approach, recognizing that our mental, physical, and social well-being are all interconnected.
Exactly. And it even touches on the importance of lifestyle changes to reduce stress, like time management. We talked about that.
Right.
Getting a hobby, spending time in nature, and of course, enough sleep, which it emphasizes a lot.
Always crucial. Sleep. But yeah, I like how it brings all these different areas together. Time management, planning, social connections. They all play a role in managing stress effectively.
It's all connected. And actually, the book goes even further. It digs into the unique challenges of certain professions. Like there's a whole section on stress in the medical field, how demanding it can be for healthcare professionals.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. Really eye-opening.
It mentions studies showing that a significant portion of medical professionals experience high levels of stress and even depression.
Wow, that's heavy.
It is. And the book really stresses how important it is to address these challenges to prevent burnout in healthcare.
Absolutely. Got to take care of those who take care of us. And speaking of high-stress professions, I think it also talks about the aviation industry, right?
Yep. Constant need for precision, high stakes. It's known to be super demanding.
Oh, for sure. And I bet stress in that field could have serious consequences.
Exactly. The book points out that chronically high stress levels can directly impact performance and even compromise safety.
Makes sense. So what does it suggest for managing stress in such a high-pressure environment?
It highlights the importance of using stress measurement tools that are specifically designed for aviation.
Oh, interesting. So not just your generic relaxation techniques.
Right. It's about really understanding the unique stressors of that environment. And these tools go beyond just like self-reporting. There are performance-based measures, subjective ones like questionnaires, even physiological stuff like heart rate monitoring.
Wow, so multifaceted. It really shows how much thought has gone into understanding stress in different professions.
Yeah, it's not one size fits all.
Not at all. Okay, so we've talked about stress. We've touched on so many areas, but there's one chapter that really stuck with me, and I think it's a perfect way to wrap up our discussion today. The final chapter of Your Life Can Be Changed focuses on the importance of continuous learning.
That's such a good point to end on, that learning isn't something that stops after school or whatever.
It's a lifelong journey, right? And it shared this quote that really resonated. Knowledge is the endless resource of success in life.
Love that quote. It's not just about hoarding information. It's about using it to empower ourselves.
Totally. And the book argues that this continuous learning helps us adapt to change, broaden our horizons, and ultimately reach our full potential. It's about staying curious, embracing challenges, never stopping the pursuit of knowledge.
Which, even engaging with this deep dive, that's a form of continuous learning.
Exactly. We're all learning together here. Learning is about growth, and that's really what this whole book is about. So as we wrap up our discussion of Your Life Can Be Changed, I want to leave everyone with this question. What area of your life are you most curious about exploring further? What knowledge or skills would help you level up, take things to the next level? Take some time to reflect on that. We'll be back soon with more insights from this amazing book. Until then, keep learning, keep growing, keep changing your life for the better.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Back again for more. Your life can be changed.
I know, right? It's amazing how much ground we've covered already, and we're still just scratching the surface.
It's packed with so many valuable insights, practical tips, you name it.
And what really struck me is this underlying theme of personal growth. Like it's woven through every chapter.
Yeah, the book consistently emphasizes that we're all works in progress. It's not about reaching some final destination or being perfect. It's about embracing the journey of growth.
The journey of growth, yeah. Recognizing that we have the power to shape our own lives.
Exactly. But that takes commitment to learning, evolving, and striving to be the best version of ourselves.
And it all comes back to that title, Your Life Can Be Changed. It's not just a title, it's like a declaration.
It is a reminder that transformation is possible.
If we put in the work.
Right. Starts with us.
And this book, it really does give us the tools to do that. It's like a roadmap for personal and professional transformation.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, let's revisit some of those key takeaways.
Oh, where to even begin? This book was like a treasure chest of wisdom.
Well, it all starts with the foundation. Understanding our self-concept and building that self-confidence. We talked about how our self-image really shapes our actions and what we believe is possible for us.
Identifying those limiting beliefs and swapping them out for something more empowering.
Exactly. And once we have that solid base, the book highlights nurturing those strong relationships with friends and family.
Or support system.
Right. They help us through those challenges, celebrate our wins.
It's true. We don't have to go it alone. And speaking of wins, Your Life Can Be Changed gives us those practical strategies for time management, for planning ahead, even mitigating risks.
Taking control, making conscious choices, setting ourselves up for success.
And let's not forget stress management, that whole toolkit of techniques, because stress is a part of life.
It is, but it doesn't have to rule our lives. We can choose how we respond, develop coping mechanisms that work for us.
And finally, That powerful message about lifelong learning
Never stops.
never stops. Constantly seeking out knowledge, taking on new challenges, allowing ourselves to grow and evolve. Our potential is limitless.
As long as we're willing to put in the effort.
Effort is key. So as we close out this deep dive into Your Life Can Be Changed, I want to leave you all with a challenge. Think about it. What area of your life do you want to improve? What challenges are you facing? What goals are you chasing?
Use the principles and techniques from this book. It's your roadmap.
It is. Change starts with you. You have the power to make a difference in your own life and in the world around you.
So go out there and make it happen.
Yes. Thanks for joining us on this journey. We hope you found it insightful, inspiring, and maybe even a little life-changing. We'll see you next time on The Deep Dive.
See you then.